So, again, I kind of put myself in a little bit of a rant mode. I tend to do that. I was looking at all this MoMo thing, whatever's going on YouTube, and everyone's just like all up in arms about it. I posted a couple videos and a couple posts about it as well, and I've talked to a couple people about it, and I've had people share with me um, what they've found, and I mean, it was some pretty scary shit, but it's nothing that I've heard my kids watching. Now, granted, I'm not up my kids' ass when they're watching YouTube. I can hear it, and on your news feed, it generally displays what you've been watching. And when my kids always watch my YouTube, generally my news feed, my main page is full of their shows, so they really don't really go off of that page. But I still listen. And I mean, I've heard a couple shows where they've cussed or something and I've said no more or whatever, but I've never heard anything like terrifying or wrong. I came across this post yesterday from this girl who was posting saying that all these people are freaking out about Momo now, and you should be watching and monitoring what your kids watch, and you should be better parents. You shouldn't have to rely on a Facebook and YouTube uproar to pay attention to what your child is watching. And I just kind of laughed because then I went to her profile and she doesn't even have kids. And it's like, to a certain extent, yes, she does have a point that it is our job to watch and monitor and to protect them from stuff like that. I find it so comical when people who don't have kids try and tell you how to raise your kids. And it blows my mind. You always hear people, well, when I have kids, my children will never do this, and my children will have manners, and they will put away their toys, and they will sleep in their own beds, and they will do this, and they will be perfect. And all I could do is just laugh because I was kind of the same way when I was younger. I wanted these picture perfect kids and everything, and it just doesn't work out like that. There is no guideline, no parenting 101 book you can go pick up and read. Everybody's winging it. And it just, uh, when people who don't have kids have no idea, and I'm not talking about helping raise your little brother or sister or cousins or whatever. I'm talking about your own blood children. There is a difference. And they'll sit here and try and tell you what to do or give you advice. And it's like, don't you think that I've probably been there and done that considering they're my children and I know them? Like, I agree with her point that parents should be monitoring. But the simple fact is, our children are not in our view 24/7. You know, kids are playing at the bus stop, at school, after school activities, hanging out at their friend's house, hanging out with their friends, especially if they have their own phone or tablet or laptop or whatever. You can't fully stop them from being exposed to what's out in the world. Yes, it is up to you as parents, but kids are kids, man, and kids are going to do exactly what you tell them not to do. So you can't prevent stuff like this from happening. All you can do as a parent is teach your children right from wrong and teach them to know that this is inappropriate and I shouldn't be watching it so that they make that decision, because you can't always be there to make that decision for them. You know, if I come up and tell my daughter, you can absolutely not watch this, guess what? The second she goes to the bus stop with her friends who have phones, or goes to school, or goes over to her friends after school who has a computer, guess what she's going to be looking up? So, people who don't have kids, I love you. You guys are still all great and beautiful. But until you have kids, try not to chime in on how shitty of a job that we're doing.